Alright my friends, the waiting time is over because roadmap sneak peek #2 is over here. This is the long-awaited roadmap second video in this series actually, this time featuring the Waffenträger, Mirny-13, British wheeled vehicles and more. What does that mean? The Waffenträger? Well, we are going to take a look in a second. This is the second roadmap sneak peek video in our ongoing series where we share our goals and objectives for the near future and let you know about any planned tests for features and mechanics. This is what many of you wanted to see because they teased us with the British wheeled vehicles, for example, and also with the autocannons in the previous roadmap video. Also, we had the Japanese tanks over there, then the random events and whatnot. But guys, let's watch it together and let's see what we are going to get. Right, here we go.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Roadmap Highlights episode 2. Today I brought some reinforcements directly from our game development team, Alexandra.
Hello Michael.
She will help me to explain better to you in more detail what we are preparing for you for the upcoming months. So in today's episode we want to focus on a couple of upcoming features. Returning a new game modes, new features in general, which we are cooking as well for you, and then last but not least, the British medium vehicles that are finding their way into our game later this year. I hope you're equally excited about the details that Alexandra will now able to share. Enjoy the show and see you later.
Alright, sounds good to me because they talk about Frontline over here as well, the return of the Waffenträger. Okay, and also Mirny-13 comes back, what many of you wanted to see back. April 2023.
Hello Wargamers, my name is Alexandra Lehenchenko and I am a senior game designer at World of Tanks. Performing a design owner role, my team and I help to develop various features such as metagame systems and in-game events. I'm very happy to be here today and continue updating you guys on our last news and upcoming events. So, let's go! Let's start off by looking at a game mode beloved by players, Frontline. We plan on bringing Frontline back very soon, but it should receive a couple of changes in comparing with previous iteration. We would like to simplify systems of the game mode in order to make it more comfortable for players to use. Let's take a closer look at what we are planning for the game mode.
There should be a new map as well, right?
Players will now be offered the option to pick between 2 random reserves while playing Frontline, allowing players to potentially pick the same reserve twice, increasing its effect. All abilities will level up equally and consist of 3 standard tiers. Using the already familiar reserve tokens, you can also buy an additional level, allowing you to achieve tier 4 for your reserves.
Okay.
Another game mode you can expect to see.
No news about the new map though, because I know it is in the development, right? Kind of a desert looking map.
Is Steel Hunter Reborn, which will have a few key differences from the classic game mode. We will introduce a respawn ability for the first few minutes of the game. It can also be found in blue supply drops, allowing players to re-enter the match if they are destroyed during the initial stages of battle. And if you are playing in a platoon, you will even be able to revive your platoon mate if you haven't been in combat recently. Finally, we will also be introducing AI enemies to Steel Hunter Reborn, called Marauders. Face off against these new opponents and destroy them to gain more supply drops and experience. Marauders may seem familiar to many of you, especially if you played previous game modes such as Mirny-13. There will be 3 different types of Marauders. The Wolf, which will stalk you from a distance and try to cause damage from range. The Bear, which will immediately start brawling with you as soon as you enter its proximity, but disengages when you distance yourself. And lastly, the Rabbit, which will try to run from you as soon as you spot them.
Okay, extra drop, but But basically they are moving away from the Battle Royale type of action, right? Because Battle Royale usually is everyone spawns in and if you die, next battle, right? So
Also, we will be looking at adjusting the gameplay by reducing the number of players to 15 in solo matches. All of this should reduce the odds of the early engagement, give players opportunity to level up, and stand a better chance in the game later. Now, let's talk about the return of the event that many of you asked about. I'm talking about Mirny-13 that will return later this year, concluding the story of a mystical town and anomaly that occurred there.
So this is exciting
we
for
have
many
been
of you.
hard at work polishing Mirny-13 to improve this mode, which players are already familiar with. We have been adjusting the gameplay, adding more abilities and anomalies, giving you more control and options over the benefits during battle. We are also revamping the boss fights, creating a more exciting yet challenging experience for you and your team. So pay close attention to future announcements, where hopefully we can share more specific details.
Alright,
You
Immortal
can
is coming
also
back.
expect UI changes to the service record page. We plan to make adjustments to the visuals of WTR ratings. WTR will now be divided into 5 groups: Bronze, Silver, Gold, Ace, and Legend, each consisting of 3 levels, for a total of 15 levels. We hope this will provide better visualization of the rating system and how your rating compares to other players. We will also be introducing the ability to customize the achievements featured on your main statistics page, giving you the ability to show off your favorite medals and achievements.
Yeah,
At
this
the
is
end
just
of the
for the
day,
show off, right?
we want to give all players the opportunity to share their achievements and make their service record more representative of their battle scores, while still allowing them to show off their proudest achievements.
Yeah, some flexing
We hope
action.
that you are as excited as us about all these new updates, but we have an announcement of a few game modes that are planning to return this year. Firstly, our beloved Waffenträger that will reappear later this year and will continue the existing story. Ermelinda has been hard at work in order to protect everything she and her father have created. However, the Allies added one more familiar tank to their arsenal to fight her forces, the TVP T5051. So, be prepared for the return of this game mode in addition with a new tank and some new exciting changes.
Main question, of course, are we going to get the same Waffenträger event as well as we did last year, you know, where you are able to actually play with the old Waffenträger in random battles? They do not say anything about this.
Another game
right
mode
now.
that we can expect to return this year is Arcade Cabinet. While we can't share too much about what's planned for the next iteration, we can tell you that the game mode will feature new unique gameplay that many of you will be excited to try out.
By the way, we just had Arcade Cabinet as well. Actually, 1 month ago or something like that. We just had it.
And finally, we have some more
Okay.
information regarding the British wheeled medium tanks.
British wheels.
We know many players have concerns regarding the introduction of new wheeled vehicles, but we want to clarify that these tanks will be more comparable to lightly armored mediums with good guns, as opposed to current wheeled vehicles in-game that players are already familiar with. We can confirm that these tanks will not have 2 speed modes like the EBRs, and that these tanks will have slower forward, reverse, and traverse speed, driving more similarly to tanks like the Batchat 25T. On the topic of tank traverse, it's important to note that the British wheeled mediums will not turn like the EBRs, but rather traverse on the spot, like more traditional tanks featured in the game. Further,
Okay, so basically they are like a medium tanks with light armor but they cannot be tracked, right? Wheels do not give anything else or do not change the gameplay in any other way, seems to be at least, because now you're able to turn while standing still as well.
Furthermore, these tanks will be much larger than existing wheeled vehicles. The slower speeds and the larger models should increase the chances of causing damage when hitting the wheels. Also, these vehicles will receive a penalty of over 60% to mobility when one wheel is damaged. Damaging more wheels will have a smaller effect on the tank's mobility. This differs from existing wheeled vehicles, which receive a 25% penalty and see a larger reduction in mobility with more damaged wheels. We plan to introduce the line from Tier 5, branching off from the Covenanter and leading up to Tier 10.
Okay, so I guess we need to start saving experience on the Covenanter. Then we get the AUC Armored Car, Staghound Mark III, FSV Scheme, a Saladin, a G-Sor, and the concept number 5.
We will also be introducing a new Tier 8 premium vehicle to the Super Test very soon. Unfortunately, it's too early to share any specific details about each of these tanks. However, we are certain that this line of tanks will be an interesting line, especially for experienced players.
We hope you found this video useful and it gives you a good glimpse on what to expect during the upcoming months. So, watch for another episodes by subscribing if you haven't done it yet, and see you soon.
Yes, just to get to this, please leave a very warm welcome for Alexandra, who was a very good host explaining you more details about our development beats that are coming in the upcoming months. And please leave comments as well if you have questions regarding the features we discussed today or any feedback in general. See you in the next episode. Thank you, Alexandra, for being a great host.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys.
Alright, so if we have any questions, well, I do have a couple questions, right? For example, Frontline. I remember they have shared details about the new Frontline map. What is going on with that? Are we going to get it? Because right now, you know, we have only 2. It can get quite repetitive, honestly speaking, especially if in one session you get like the same map 6, 7, 8 times in a row. Then the Steel Hunter. Well, this seems to be like Steel Hunter Reborn. Is the Steel Hunter game mode going to still stay in the game? The old Steel Hunter game mode, is that going to still stay in the game? 20 players, solo players, for example, right? I think the bots are going to add a little bit more variety to this game mode. The respawning, well, you know, it helps newer players, let's say, who do not feel super comfortable in this game mode overall. Then what else we had? Mirny-13 is coming back, you know, good for you. A little bit flexing action, so yeah, something to grind towards, like you can flex how many pools medals you have or how many Kolobanovs or, I don't know, how many Raider medals you have. Raider is that capture enemy base without getting spotted even once in the game, right? Then returning game modes, the arcade cabinet, Waffenträger is coming back, but are we going to get the Waffenträger, rental Waffenträger, back with this game mode as well? Another question. Arcade cabinet over here, British wheeled tanks. So yeah, overall seems like the British wheeled vehicles, like in a nutshell, they are like lightly armored tanks, but with wheels, without any special game modes. They're able to turn on the still or while standing still on the spot. So that means basically standard tanks that cannot be tracked. But, you know, you receive huge penalty when the wheel is knocked out. But you can still, you know, get behind safety or something. Drop back from the hill. Covenanter is where you have to save your experience if you want to get them day 1. But I would say we are still months away from receiving those, because we are just about to get the Japanese tank destroyers into the game. I guess this is like, I don't know, late summer or something like that, I would say so. But yeah, no mention about the machine guns, actually what they teased us in the previous video. So I guess this is coming in episode number 3. I would say so. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about that? Please let me know in the comment section down below as well. And if you have any feedback, any questions, any ideas about tests yourself, let us know in the comment section down below. And let's see what is going to happen. But that is it from me. Beautiful people, stay awesome, stay beautiful, take care, and bye.